Hi there, Annette Kalbhenn here, co-creator of the Inventors Action Program, a program to help inventors step by step take their idea just from a concept into hopefully what's an invention success, as well as a sales manager for 3D prototype design, a 3D printing company. Today I'd like to talk about NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. If you're like most inventors, you are interested in protecting your idea because you want to make sure someone else doesn't take it. Patents is a totally different subject here, which we will address in another segment, but let's talk a little bit about one of the things that you can do that's quite economical and sometimes even free to do, which is an NDA. An NDA stands for non-disclosure agreement. So essentially, it's a contract between you and whoever you share your idea with or your secret. So you would draft up this non-disclosure agreement. It would have all the pertinent details in it, and then that person would sign it, you would sign it, and then that person or company would agree that they would not share your idea and they acknowledge that this is your idea. So having said that, again, an NDA is not a patent, but it does have its place, and it's only as strong as the words that are in it. So having said that, I've worked in 3D printing, as you may know, for the last 14 years. So I have signed a lot of non-disclosure agreements, and I've seen a lot, hundreds for sure. And that brings me to today's topic, which is 5, I can't believe they did that with their NDA points. So number 1 is asking me to sign a non-disclosure agreement when it's really not warranted. Timing when to get a non-disclosure agreement is almost like an art. You don't have to share every piece of information to get the information that you need in return. Many times I sign non-disclosure agreements only to find out with me asking one question that they actually don't need to speak with me any further. So signing that NDA was of no value to either of us because what we were offering was not something that they needed. So that's number 1 on the list. 2 is using someone else's non-disclosure agreement from the internet. That's a big no-no. Basically, I've seen many people, inventors, and a few companies take a non-disclosure agreement that they found online, and then they accidentally left old dates in, or somewhere within the subtext that didn't change the company name, or the information in the non-disclosure was not even remotely relevant to what they were approaching me on or what their idea was. So the whole point of a non-disclosure is to help protect your invention, not somebody else's invention. So you want to make sure it's customized properly and tailored specifically for your invention so it can do its job. That's where a patent lawyer can be of assistance as well. We have within our Inventors Action Program a non-disclosure agreement that is in a digital format, and it's something that you can fill in, and within the program we also take you through step by step how to fill it in to help give you as much protection as possible. 3rd on the list, sending me an old NDA that was filled in for another company. This kind of bothers me because now I have done on many occasions where I've gone into their non-disclosure agreement and I've replaced company A with our company, and I've replaced the date with our date of today that we're signing this agreement on. So it looks unprofessional, and also if I just would have signed it and sent it back, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm not a lawyer, I can't see this non-disclosure agreement actually being defendable in court because it didn't even have the correct dates, it didn't have the right company name. So you want to make sure if you're going to send it to someone, you want to make sure that it's going to protect your idea, so you want to have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, and you want to look professional too. Number 4 on the list, leaving out some really vital details in a non-disclosure agreement is something that I can't believe companies do, not just individuals, but large companies. I have seen some pretty lengthy non-disclosure agreements with some very simple, basic points that were left out. I just can't believe that take their contract from, in some areas, questionable, and just by adding those 3 or 4 points, it could have been a much stronger agreement. So you want to make sure that it has all of the valuable details within it so that, again, it can provide some strength to protecting your idea. And lastly, my favorite, number 5, asking me if I can supply them with a blank non-disclosure agreement. Why would you want that? The whole point of asking for a non-disclosure agreement is for you to ensure the person you're sharing it with is not going to talk about it, is going to protect your idea from others. So why would you want somebody else to provide you with something that's written that could potentially be benefiting them and their position over yours? It also looks unprofessional as well, in my opinion. If you can't get a proper NDA agreement, then having a generic one signed, to me, it doesn't look very professional or like you're serious about your idea. And I'm not really sure how strong that document's going to be for you. So take the time to get a proper non-disclosure agreement. So as I mentioned earlier, the Inventors Action Program does have a fantastic NDA that we had our lawyer draft up, and when we told her we were going to be including this in the Inventors Action Program, she couldn't believe it because she had said to us that she usually charges $1,200 for this. And so we're like, yeah, but it was something that we wanted to include for inventors because so few people know where to get a good non-disclosure agreement, how to fill it in, and how to do it digitally as well to keep it professional. Many times I've seen them filled in and they're just like handwritten and it doesn't look quite as professional. So this does help to present you in a much better light. Of course, consulting with a lawyer is always recommended. So in the tradition of hopefully trying to keep these segments short, I'm going to try and end it here then. I invite you to write in, let me know if you have any questions that perhaps I can answer in some future video postings that I put up here. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.